You want to talk about parents' rights? Everyone says how important it is. We enacted the Parents' Bill of Rights in the state of Florida. Parents have the right to direct the education and upbringing of their kids, and that means you as a parent have a right to know what is being taught in your child's school. Curriculum transparency. And unfortunately, they're trying to jam things like pornographic materials in front of very young kids. That is wrong. And in Florida, we put a stop to it. Now, the media will say, and the left will say, that if a parent objects to a book in fourth grade that is pornographic, and you remove that book from the fourth grade library, they'll claim that that's, quote, banning the book. First of all, in Florida, there's nothing banned. You as an adult can knock yourself out without adult material. Just don't do it to the kids. Leave our kids alone. You can go read Hunter Biden's laptop for all I care if you want adult material, but just don't bring it to kids. So they'll do it and they say, oh, it's banned. So what I did to ferret them out and to smoke them out, we did a press conference about 6 or 7 months ago titled Exposing the Book Ban Hoax. And instead of me going to the podium and talking about it before I stepped up, before any of the parents stepped up, we just played on the video screen the images of the books that the parents had objected to. The news stations who were covering that press conference had to cut their feeds because they said it was too graphic to put on the air. Well, if it's too graphic for the 6 o'clock news, how is it okay for a 10-year-old school child? Okay.
Well, first of all, I want to thank the libs of TikTok out there for bringing this particular situation up in the X social media account. I mean, this is important, and and education is very important. And I've said this on numerous occasions. Stop teaching sex to grammar school kids. We're having a problem in this country that going into high school, kids don't know how to read, write, do basic math. They're not even taught how to write in cursive anymore. Yeah, that's right. Most of these schools have eliminated the ability for you to sign. Do you remember all those old West movies where they said like, well, sign this. Well, Marshall, I don't know how to sign my own name. So, well, just put your X on there. Are we going back to that? Literally, are we going back to that? They said, well, kids don't need cursive because we have the internet and all that. Bullshit. We still sign paperwork. We still sign, we get a delivery. We still have to sign for it. If we're getting a special delivery, wait, you going to put an X on there? But, we have these situations where they're trying to teach critical race theory, DEI, gender identity. And we're not talking high school at this point. We're talking elementary school. And now we're hearing here in New York, in one of the county schools, that they're going to be teaching it to kindergarten children. Yeah, I said it. They're going to be teaching gender identity course to kindergarten kids. And they tried to freaking make, they've already responded, the county schools, and say that, they tried to basically, try to make it like, oh no, they need it. They're trying to defend this situation. But we're going to read this from Fox News. part of it will have the Lives of TikTok article point that they put on X. New York elementary school blasted for teaching gender identity course to kindergartners. And an elementary school in the suburbs of New York City is being called out for teaching a gender identity class to kindergartners after a copy of the course being circulated on social media. Hillside Elementary School, part of the Hastings-on-Hudson Union Free District, has been teaching a gender curriculum to elementary level children in an effort to promote inclusion in the schools, according to the course description reviewed by Fox News Digital. The course included showing kindergarten students photos of other children, which are used to introduce vocabulary to describe characters of different identities, including teaching them about the terms of cisgender, transgender, and non-binary, according to a message to parents regarding the curriculum. Our gender curriculum focuses on Hillside's core value of respect and aims to center discussions on gender identity. The students will learn and discuss that there is a lot to you that you can't tell about a person by simply looking at them, the kindergarten level course description reads. These are little kids! They're barely out of the womb! They're just getting into an education. This is activists that are in in these school boards, and a lot of the teachers. The first problem we have is that the federal government, we have the Department of Education, which Trump, vows to eliminate, which is part of this problem. The other half is that we need to fire a lot of these school boards, a lot of these teachers. We need to reform. And people say, well, it's the union situation. Yeah, we need to reform the unions as well, because these are all part of the situation. These are people that just basically are pushing an agenda, brainwashing children. This is a brainwash. And let's read a little bit of this into this. And this is from the Libs of TikTok. Breaking Hillside Elementary sent an email informing that their kids are implementing a new gender identity curriculum for kindergartners. And we're going to read this from that portion itself, the synopsis of itself. Our gender curriculum focuses on Hillside's core value of respect and aims to center discussions of gender identity. The students will learn and discuss that there's a lot you can't tell about a person by simply looking at them. The students will look at the pictures of children and talk about what they notice and what they think they know about children just from the pictures, using their observations, and will take the opportunity to introduce vocabulary to describe the characters of different identities, cisgender, transgender, non-binary, in a development to appropriated way. Objectives. Identity is who you are. People are expressed their identity in different ways. Identity includes your gender, pronouns that you use. All people should be treated and respected, that there's no right or wrong way by any gender. This is something parents are supposed to teach their children, to respect people. As we learn and grow, words are used to describe a gender identity and grow too. All kinds of these people live in Hastings and bring value to our community. Sense of acceptance, respect, support, and inclusion for self, others in school environment. This is literally, socialism and communism when it comes to this. And you look at this. I mean, this is what they're doing to children is exactly, if you've seen the movie Clockwork Orange, and that scene where they kept, his eyes open, and they're like, ah! And feeding that information. That's what you're doing to children. That is exactly what you're doing to children. Some people say, well, they're trying to get rid of racism, and this is how you do it. You teach it from the young. No. That's not how you do it. You're creating a new racism to that nature. Because all these people that are coming out, they're sisters, that, Can I identify as myself as a waifu? Can I do that? Can you say, "Hey, I identify as a waifu"? Can I identify as a smart, good-looking fella? Can I identify as that?
Sir, are you classified as human?
Negative. I am a meat popsicle.
You know, and you hear people saying like, "Well, no, you can't do that." You know, we can no. This is the stupidity that we've gone into by 2024. And they just want to push this onto children. I've discussed stories about, you know, the banning of Dr. Seuss books because they claim, oh, the caricatures are racist and homophobic and all that. They're characters in a fictional book. They don't exist. They're there to have fun with children. You know, this is why they've taken away things from children. They're taking away playtime. They took away Saturday cartoons. They're trying to take away all the toys and everything that kids grew up with. They're saying, no. This is what kids need to be doing right now. You know, this is how we're going to educate them. Meanwhile, we got kids graduating a high school that can't read, do math, that, you know, just literally being pushed out of high school. Yeah, that's right. They're getting pushed into college and don't even know what they're going to do. They're getting pushed into these social programs that has no, you know, once they graduate, they're not going to get jobs for this. There are people that are not taking, you know, they should be in engineering courses. They should be in trade school. They should be learning to, and this is why I tell you, they need to bring back shop. They need to bring back home ec, back to, I mean, there are some schools that have it and work very well with the students. You know, this is the things that basically we need to educate our kids. Stop teaching this bullshit of gender identity, DEI, and all this other bullshit that some nut job has decided to put together because they think they're making the world better. They're not. You're destroying the culture. You're destroying us all. And I'm talking every minority, every white person, black, Hispanic, Asian, you name it, that's what they're destroying. And the biggest thing that they're destroying is the nuclear family. And you hear it from these guys. You hear it from what we call the third level of feminism. This is not feminism today is not the same feminism from the last two levels. They hate men. They hate marriage. Listen to some of the people on X, on TikTok. If you're on TikTok, which I don't recommend, on Instagram, listen to how they talk about relationships, on having a child. They don't want it. That they want the sex, but they don't want the responsibility that is caused by the sex. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And we're not even getting into the butchering of children because they're saying like, well, kids are confused. Maybe they're not themselves in their body. Kids are always confused. They will going to have a lot of questions. That is part of growing up. I had a lot of questions in my life. Doesn't mean I'm a woman. I grew up and educated myself. I learned. I traveled. You know, there are a lot of things. I read. I spoke with people. Debated with people. This is the things that we're supposed to do. They want to take all of that away and just saying, This is the way it's supposed to be. But it's not. You're destroying children. Let them learn the way they're supposed to learn. I went through the kindergarten phase, and it was a lot of fun. Then I got into grammar school. I had my issues education-wise, but at least I had teachers there that basically taught me. And basically when I had problems with my courses, they put me to a side and hand me over to a teacher that was able to bring me to full speed. They don't have that anymore. There are kids out there, minority kids, that basically they're not going to get everything. They're the ones who need help. But what do? They reduce the education standards so they'd be able to pass. That's not helping them. It's not getting through the stuff that they need to learn. If you watched our Otaco Wednesday last week before the holiday, I had discussed things. They were talking about it, removing Assassination Classroom from high schooler libraries because they're telling them, it says, well, a South Carolina mom says, well, their brains can't handle it. You know what was the big thing during the last couple decades is kids were getting into reading. You had books like Goosebumps, Harry Potter. You had comic books and manga that got kids to read. And now you want to take it away from them and throw in books that basically talk about sex, talk about homosexuality, which there's nothing wrong with being gay, but to teach it to kindergartners and grammar school kids, and even going into the early days of high school, that's not a place for them to learn that. You want to learn it off to the side when you're old enough, that's fine. When it comes to sex, biology, and the parents, that's the way sex should be taught. I had biology when I was in high school. And yes, I had questions. I asked my parents. You know, that's the way it's supposed to be. Not the way they're pushing it these days. This is why young kids are having sex. And the thing about it is they're trying to change the laws to basically for, like what happened in California, that if a young kid had a situation which technically would be cheese pizza, that it would be up to the judge to whether to push it off and say, hey, it was consensual or not. Yeah, literally, you've just legalized cheese pizza in California. Yeah. Day in, day out, kids are losing their innocence. Every day. Every day you hear a new story about this in situations like this. So I'm going to give you a moment. I'm going to give you a moment after this video. Just literally think about this for a minute. Don't put the politics into this situation. Don't listen to it. What the left radicals, activists, that they're telling you that we need to do this. No, listen to that inside you that says a kid should be learning things that will get them through life. Not to teach them what gender they are, what sexuality they are, what is sex, instead of learning how to read, write, do math, do cursive writing, learn an education, get into high school, learn biology, sciences, history, American history, world history, learn literature, read Shakespeare, read the classics and all that, and get through it. And eventually, maybe down the line, you might want to take up a trade, learn how to work with your hands, go to college, maybe for engineering, Stay away from communications and social justice courses and stuff like that, because technically those don't pay out. Engineering pays out. Working with your hands, carpentry, plumbing, air conditioning, refrigeration, all that pays out. Working, this is the reason why we are in where we are now in manufacturing, engineering, and all this in our country. When they say, well, I can't buy things made in America because they keep shipping things out to other countries. Well, we don't have the people to handle that here. That's right, we don't. So take this moment to think about it before you comment, like, share this video, and hopefully today's the day I earn your subscription. So until next time, thank you for tuning in. We really do appreciate that. Hopefully we'll be able to resolve this in the 2025 new president when he comes into there, and that light of hope on the other end. And have yourself a Merry Christmas and happy holidays out there as we get into the Christmas season. So until next time, bye-bye now.